Fat, we're the Phat Peeps.
Hey, peeps.
Hello?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phat Peeps podcast.
That's us.
This is
That's
a
us, guys.
podcast where we, the Phat Peeps, get together to talk about video games, movies, TV, and other nerdy culture, geeky culture, stuff like that. I'm one of the Phat Peeps and the host of this podcast, Joey.
Hi,
And
Joey.
I'm here with cameraman John,
Oh, that's me. Hello.
Garrick,
Hello.
and PJ.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, PJ.
Hello?
And we have some fun stuff to talk about today.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Let me just say it's good to be back. They had a week off, and
It is, yeah.
wow.
We felt weird.
Oh,
I
wow.
forgot about that.
yeah, it was
Oh,
kind
time
of weird
flies
not
when you're
to
not doing anything.
have to sit and talk for an hour and a half about nonsense.
Oh, wow.
I missed it.
Right?
Left.
Anyway, before we get into our nerdy discussion topics of the day,
Let's talk about
we
nerdy
always
fat
like to
things.
start our podcast out with the icebreaker question
Oh, wow.
of the day.
Ooh,
is
we have
it?
an icebreaker
Do
question.
you love how I just like roll right through you saying stuff, PJ? Like it doesn't even.
Oh no, I love it. That's why I was laughing.
Mm-hmm. He's getting good at this.
Oh no, I'm impressed. I'm going to continue throwing curveballs to see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna improve your skills, Joey. One day you'll have a guest on the show that's just a complete nuisance, and you're gonna be able to be like, "Well, whatever. I'm trained for this shit."
Anyway, today's question is: I don't know who put this on the docket, but I saw it there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it ride.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
probably
Is
Garrick.
cheesecake a pie or a cake? I'm gonna start by
Oh,
taking
great question, Joey.
taking a definitive stand.
Oh, I wanna
Cheesecake
hear
is a
you.
pie.
What?
It has
Are
a
you
crust,
sure?
and it doesn't have any flour and doesn't rise.
But it's in the shape of a cake.
I don't care. It's a pie.
Okay, hold on.
Nothing about its chemical makeup is a cake.
I gotta
And it
Webster
says
this
cake
shit. Give me a
in
minute.
cheesecake.
I gotta give me a minute. I'm Webstering this shit. Okay.
No,
Wait, hold on,
PJ,
hold on.
we need your stop.
No,
We
no,
need
no,
your.
no.
Oh, no, I'm
opinion
already on the
first.
Wait,
cake
hold on,
side.
Hold on. Cheesecake.
Uh,
No, cheesecake does not have a crust. No, okay, it has a crust, but it's not like a bowl shape, like a pie, you know? Like in a pie, the crust
I don't
kind
care.
of
It's still a crust.
kind of carries the filling. While in a cake, it doesn't really have a damn it. Wait,
Okay.
what?
Well, okay. So
It's a
make
pie, dude. Come on.
Make your stances, and then I will tell you guys the definitions of both of them.
Wait, you didn't say your stance first.
I just said cake.
Why?
It's like
You
Yeah,
didn't say
why?
why though. You just say yeah.
I feel like
I think
pie
it's this. You have
has
to
to
believe
have
me.
some sort of fruit in it. Typically.
No, what?
pecan pie.
I
Hello?
say typically. And
Pumpkin pie.
I feel like it has to be baked in some form.
A meat pie?
But cheese.
Yeah,
Once again, it has
exactly.
to be baked.
Chicken
Cheesecakes are
pot pie?
baked too, though.
What? Cheesecakes baked
Cheesecakes-
all the time?
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
single time.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
No, I mean, there's a weird
Well,
no-bake
yeah.
cheesecake recipes, but those are gross. No one eats those.
I'm just
Traditional
saying
cheesecake
it's
is baked.
possible.
Yeah.
Possible to do without baking. But
Yes,
that's
it's
just
possible.
That's
But the traditional cheesecake recipe is you bake it.
Just like cake.
Like cake.
I guess. I don't know. I
and
feel like
pie.
True. That's true.
Allegedly.
You do bake pie. That's true.
But okay, how before we get to the internet, does so it's cooked in its own special tin. It's not a pie tin, right?
No, it's like it's like a form. What is it called? Like a form.
Yeah. You lock
pan
it
or
in.
something.
oh, the
Yeah,
ones
you
that like
lock it in.
release on the sides.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
cheesecakes are made from.
That's
Yeah,
where
so it's a
cheesecakes are
cake.
made from.
That's where they come from.
Well, Billy, this
Yeah,
is how
it's just a
cheesecakes are
special-
made.
It's just a special pie tin.
But
No.
Yeah.
a pie tin,
Yeah.
a pie tin
Yeah.
has a
Pie
bottom.
tin.
I
Pie
guess.
tin. If you say pie tin, it's a really traditional.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have a
pie-shaped-
bottom because it has
tin.
the metal
But
bottom that
if
you
you
put the
look at
crust
the
on, and then it just detaches.
If you look at the shape of a cheesecake, it looks like a cake. It's a cylinder.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, that's my go-to answer because it's in the form of a cake. Well, a pie.
can
like
stack-
you can make
In
a
form of
stack
a
cheesecake.
cake.
pie by putting it in a pie tin, it's kind of like a waffle, right? It's like, what is a waffle? You can put any kind of batter in
God,
it,
why
and
do
it
we keep
turns into a
having these-
waffle,
See,
right?
That's the
These
thing. I
conversations.
think for me, it's like the chemical makeup of this thing, right?
Right.
Like it's made out of like cheese and sour cream and egg. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
I
any
see-
flour.
Cake.
Yeah, I
It's
see
not
where
a
you come from.
cake. It's
No,
a
but-
pie.
no,
wait.
because like carrot cake and stuff like that have cheese.
Carrot-
I feel like things that
Carrot
have
cake is flour.
cream cheese in them are more oriented towards cake.
Well,
But they
it's
still have
full-on
flour in them,
cheese,
so they rise.
you know. True. That's very true.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
everyone's
Joey's
Telling you,
answer
answer
is
for
dude,
cake.
choice.
cheesecake's a pie.
So pie for Joey. I'm on the cake
You're
side.
you're locked on things like the shape and the name, like semantics, without
Right, right.
actually looking at like what the object actually is.
A cake.
Okay,
Huh,
Garrick's on the
okay.
cake side. What's your stance on the cake, Garrick? Why?
I thought. Hello.
You've already said.
Yeah.
Okay, and then John's already said his.
Oh,
two.
okay. Here's a new explanation.
Okay,
You can
please.
stack cheesecakes, but you
You can
can't
stack pies.
You can stack
pies
pie,
as
but
well.
not well.
You
It
cannot
depends on the type
stack
of pie.
it well.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of pie. You could totally
All pies.
like no problem stack pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
Probably
but
most
it doesn't
pies with
look
a crust top.
perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Get
interesting.
outta here with
Bringing
that,
up
Garrick.
pumpkin pie. Okay, no. So you bringing up pumpkin pie actually puts me a little bit closer to your pie argument, just because of the fact that there's pumpkin cheesecake. Which,
Yeah, there's pumpkin cheesecake, but that's different than pumpkin
flavored
pie.
cheesecake.
But
So-
pumpkin pie is also a custard pie, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
that leads me a little bit more towards the middle. So then, John, you're still on the cake half of this.
I'm
right?
still on the cake, but Joey does make some really good points.
So you've almost swayed the two of us. Garrick's the only one that's like on his side of the line, planted in
Because
the
it's
soil.
a
firmly.
cylinder.
Okay. So Webster's definition of a pie is a dessert consisting of a filling as of fruit or custard and a pastry shell or topped with pastry or both. Okay. It also says
Okay.
a meat dish baked with biscuit or pastry crust as a
Okay.
secondary.
So a
okay.
shell. That I
Yeah, so that's
I
a
see
shell part. Yeah,
shell.
yeah. So
Okay.
cheesecakes aren't made in a shell; they're kind of like a flat bottom.
I'll agree with you
Crust.
on that one.
It's a foundation.
So by Webster's like definition, okay, maybe not a pie.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
But-
let's read
what-
cake really quick before we move
Okay.
into the
Okay,
rest of the
okay.
argument.
Yeah.
Go on.
A bread-like food made from a dough
Mm,
or
bread-like.
batter that is usually fried or baked in small flat shapes and is often unleavened. That's number one. The second one is a sweet baked food made from a dough or thick batter, usually containing flour and sugar, and often shortening, eggs, and a rising agent such as baking powder.
Thank
What's
you,
the
Webster's,
source?
for backing me up even more.
Okay.
See, you
Yeah.
see how hard they're gravitating towards the breadiness, the flour
Right.
qualities
Yeah.
of a cake that
I
this
don't know.
cheesecake has nothing of, none of.
This
Let's
cheesecake
check a
has
recipe.
imposterized its name.
I mean,
That's very
technically,
sus.
if you want to like nitpick, it does have flour in the form of the graham cracker crust.
Oh, true.
I'm just just playing devil's advocate.
But you could make the
But-
same argument for a pie then.
Very true. Very
Are
true.
pies cakes? Are we going down that road?
Oh god! Oh jeez.
I don't know, just the small flat shapes and is often unleavened has already gotten me on the cake side of it though. So, but I also see.
But they
the
talk
argument for
specifically
pie.
about bread in like flour.
It says a bread-like food
Yeah.
made
But
from dough
it also
or
says
batter.
a custard, right?
Which cheesecake is not. It's like a hard custard.
Right, that's where the pie comes into play more so because it does specifically state custard, fruit, or custard. So
Okay.
Maybe
So-
we just managed to prove that like cheesecake exists in this liminal space between a cake and a pie.
it is a
Yeah.
purgatory pie, a purgatory.
You
cake
know
pie.
what? Based on
purgatory dessert.
Wikipedia, the experts on Wikipedia,
Ooh,
it could be
of course.
considered
Either or.
it could be considered a tart because
tart?
of the many eggs.
Oh yeah,
that is
yeah.
used.
It
Okay.
does have a lot of eggs in it.
Uh-huh.
Other
tart a pie?
sources identify it as a flan,
That's a good. That's
a
a good-
flan.
Flan. I
Is
don't.
it- My search
It's
is
a
just
really-
so stupid now. Is it
But
tart a pie?
what Wikipedia says there quote, there is compelling evidence that it is a custard pie. There's evidence.
Compelling
There's
evidence.
It's not definitive though.
So we can all agree that cheesecakes are in the classification of its own. Right?
I guess it's more. I would agree that it would be more towards a tart than a cake or pie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've solved the mystery.
Mystery solved, gang.
So
Yeah.
it does
We
say
did it.
That's
that
enough
a
compelling
tart
evidence.
typically only has a bottom crust compared to a pie,
Oh.
which has a crust
Yeah,
around the
which
outsides.
cheesecakes typically just has a bottom crust.
Wow.
Right.
So
That's true. So it
cheesecake
is much
fits
more
the
a
bill.
tart. Yeah. Okay.
So who the hell named cheesecake?
Why
Should
did
we
they
call
name
it
it
cake?
cheese tart?
Let's call it cheese tarts from now
Okay.
on.
From
Yeah.
now on, I need to have my cheese
Oh.
top.
Cheese tarts, please.
Oh.
Yeah.
Waiter,
Cheese flan.
I ordered a strawberry cheese tart.
They'll just look at you
Oh
like,
my.
the fuck are you?
I'm glad we figured out another.
That was the most
issue.
definitive answer we've ever gotten on
Yeah.
an icebreaker question. So
Yeah.
let's pat ourselves on the
Well,
back
it
for
was
that
it
one.
Well,
was
because-
all the compelling evidence.
Yeah, there happened to be compelling evidence out
Yeah.
there to solve the
Wow.
The English language for the first time in history has not failed us 100%. So
Yeah.
wow,
issue.
happy
I'm just
about
glad that the
Well done.
experts reaffirmed my initial gut reaction.
that. to disregard everything about the cake portion of the
Yeah.
cheesecake.
Yeah.
Wow,
Amazing.
That was
Amazing, guys.
awesome. So what's the actual news today? What's something that people should
That's
give a
news
shit
to me.
about?
I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
Extra, you read all about it. Is cheesecake cake or pie?
It's actually a tart.
Plot
Anyway.
twist.
Let's move on to actual topics.
That's
I'm
not an
excited
actual
for this
topic.
one.
So Square Enix announced like a week ago or something like that
oh, Square Enix.
that
Wow.
they're going to allow employees to work from home permanently.
As of today,
As of today.
Whoa.
that's
Whoa.
pretty like huge for the gaming industry, in my opinion. That's all I've ever wanted to hear. Like a job that would be my dream job.
Oh,
going
okay. I was like,
towards this.
this doesn't translate to your current job. so I
No,
don't
my
know why
current
you're so
job.
excited.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
okay.
This has nothing to do with me. But like ever since I was in middle school, like people would ask me what I wanted to do, and game development was always the answer. I've shied very far away from that, but I did do a little bit of game development in college and stuff like that, and
I love
I was
cow.
trying to go towards that, but I did not have the aptitude for programming that I thought I was going to have.
Well,
But
you
what
can
I
be like
thought
a,
was really cool with
art director on it.
this article, wait, do you have it open, Joey? Can you tell everybody, these fine people, where this is from? Because I didn't have it open. I'm sorry.
This
Oh
was like
my
an
God.
official.
Oh, it
Square
was a
Enix
statement from
thing.
Square
Square
Enix.
Enix.
Yeah,
Okay.
statement from the company.
So the thing that I thought was really cool towards the bottom of the article is the fact that they're not going to do a blanket like this is the rules. They're going to look at like every month people's input into the company, and that's going to decide whether or not they can be remote or they can have to come into the studio. So if you're doing a good job and it's consistent, you're going to be able to do what you want. You can go in if you feel like it, or you can work from home if you're doing your jive and you're good at it. That's your choice. And I appreciate that, because some people bust their ass, and I work much better in an environment where I have control over my schedule. So I can understand the sentiment of a lot of people that enjoy that. And then there's a lot of people that have to physically be there and be like in that mindset, oh, I'm at work right now, not at home. So I appreciate that too, but this is a good first step for the video game industry and then just remote jobs in general.
Yeah, it's interesting how this is like very clearly predicated on our like current situation with the pandemic and whatnot. But also, you know, I was thinking about it, and I feel that Square Enix and other Japanese companies have a luxury that particularly American developers and North American developers don't have, which is a much more robust internet infrastructure.
Yep.
Right? The internet in Japan is like a million times better than it is here in America.
Yeah.
And the nature of that facilitates their ability to work remotely efficiently like this. And as it stands now with the state of the internet in the United States, it's a lot tougher for people and companies to work within those boundaries. And I was thinking about it in a sense of, I wonder if the like state of the world ends up pushing increased like internet infrastructure here in the States.
Ooh,
from
that'd be
you know
nice.
like
Not gonna happen.
whether it be the government or whatever, because you know as we've gone through the time here of like quarantine and stuff, we're definitely seeing the failings of the internet infrastructure here in America.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like even like LA, like the school districts right now, like especially low income, but it's not just low income. Like a lot of them are having trouble doing online learning because not everyone has access to high speed internet. And it's like we're supposed to be like this big city. LA is supposed to be like this big, city that should be all these companies should, it's like
Well,
internet.
I
We
feel
should
like
have
LA
it.
is the perfect example of rich versus poor America because like you could have this giant, like you have Hollywood, and then right outside of Hollywood's door is a little like shit show area that has
Oh my God!
low
Don't
income.
name
and stuff
names.
Like that. No, I'm not naming
Yeah.
any specific towns or anything like that. I'm just saying like there's low income towns right around it. Hollywood's just a good example of like, wow, there's so much money in this one little area, and then around it there's like probably only a few miles away an area where people are struggling just to bring home food, and it's crazy to see that. And like, I don't know. So yeah, I agree. The internet is a perfect example in America where we're so far behind on making everything equal for people, and like even internet providers in different areas, they'll gouge people if they're the only one. Like I know in smaller rural areas, they'll have internet that costs like $70 to $100 a month for a mid tier that we get around here in our area. For like, I think Sarah and I pay $50 a month, and it's decent internet, and that's pretty much that's what we were paying in Ventura at my parents' house, and the internet was slower there, and that's in a city. So it's really all just dependent where you're at, and I guess the demand for it. But I agree with you, Joey. It's hard to do that here because of the differential, especially if you're in a big company that's demanding on good internet where you're transferring large files. Like for us, even it's a perfect example when we're trying to transfer YouTube videos and stuff like that and get that uploaded. Some of our internets take a lot longer, and it makes it hard when we're like, oh, can you send over that clip of your video over so I can slip it into the video and we can finish everything off. And it takes an hour for us to get 20 minutes of video or whatever just to be able to work on it, and it's frustrating. Whereas in Japan, I'm sure it's probably a lot more like, even if you're in Tokyo versus, I don't know, Hiroshima or something like that, the internet's
You'd
probably
probably
more
be living in
consistent.
Turkey and working there, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure Tokyo's internet's probably one of the best, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's all communal internet. It's a lot more consistent rather than here, and you don't have that problem. They're also smaller though. You got to take that into account. Like they don't have East Coast and West Coast issues where there's a long span of space and servers are centralized, in different.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying, like,
sections.
even just in like a city, it's like that's Tokyo. Tokyo is a huge city, right? So it's
Right.
like they have really high speed internet that's everyone's connected. But even in, again, LA, using that, it's like not everyone has internet, even though it's a huge, like,
A hub.
Yeah, it's a hub. Yeah. So it's like, why hasn't there been infrastructure?
Well, it also has to
do
do
that?
with the infrastructure.
Yeah.
After World War II, they fixed a lot of things in Japan, especially infrastructure, and I think they use that opportunity to really think ahead.
Yeah. I mean, but
And
you have a giant.
Japan's very forward thinking.
Yeah. Well, it's not Japan. It's like a lot of the Asian countries, like Taiwan and
It's Eastern
Korea.
culture.
It's like, for some reason, they have more better internets.
I think
And
it's
it's like the U.S. just doesn't. I don't know. It's like,
it's
I
the
don't know.
mentality of like I'm most important and the individual, which is like
No, it's all just what is the bare minimum for us to make the most most and that's
right. That's
pretty
what I'm
much the
saying.
utility
What's the best for
companies.
me? And I'm talking about the big
Yeah.
business. Like if they can
Business.
spend a penny to make $1 million, they're gonna do it, and that's it. They're not gonna go above and beyond for customer service. They're gonna pretend like they are, but they're not going to. This is a whole other argument that I shouldn't even get into. I'm very moderately not big business person, but anyhow,
Go on.
I'm intrigued to see how this is going to continue to progress in the gaming industry specifically, because I feel like this is a big turn. I think in creative fields, Google was one of the biggest examples of this with their work on your own project once a week idea. I think they still do that, at least, where you get to the time. We talked about this on a prior podcast where they give their employees 1 day a week where they get to work on a side project they're doing. And then if it comes to fruition, then they take that idea and help them develop it. This is another direction where like having that individuality and your own ability, what is it called? Autonomy to do what you choose when you choose to do it, as long as you're putting in your time. It gives a creative person much more drive to put 100% in, and that's cool. I'm all on board for this, and I hope to see that more industries adopt this idea, especially now that the pandemic's in full swing. And
Again.
I find it crazy that it took a worldwide catastrophe for us to finally kick our asses into the 21st century. Any other comments for that? I didn't mean to make that sound so definitive and like I'm taking presidency speech, but that was just something that I've always thought was interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it's something. I don't think it's as like amazing as you claim it to be, but yeah, it's like, I mean, it's nice to get an option. Like, not all works need to be done in offices, and also companies spend lots of money on renting office spaces, so
Well,
that's
John,
kind of nice.
When you work in two different jobs where you feel like that could have been jobs that you were doing from home, and then you see it finally happening a couple years later, you're like, oh shit, that's a big deal. I could have been doing this from home.
It's a nice option.
Couple years
I
ago.
do think that for a creative, more creative projects, or jobs where it requires being creative, having that kind of group of creative minds in the same room really helps. Kind of just inspire everyone else around you.
Yeah, that's why you make like meetings per week where you guys actually do
meetings.
get together.
Yeah.
Not necessarily meetings,
again,
but like jam sessions, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as bringing a band together to do practice and to think of song ideas. It's bringing all that creativity that you've thought of through the week and recharging that energy and putting all those people together so they can be like, okay, this is a great idea, let's develop it.
Yeah, it's a cool option. I don't think it's going to change the game.
Not
the
everything.
making stuff,
I definitely don't think it's going to be
they're going to make
huge widespread.
They're still going to be making the same quality content they usually make. So, meh.
I mean, we'll see here in the next little bit, because I think the Marvel game was a very a good example of things.
That's not because they were working.
No, it has
weren't
nothing to do
working
with
from
them
home.
working at
But-
home. I'm saying like that was
Yeah.
before. So let's see going forward if we run into any more of those disasters.
Oh no, it's greedy companies are going to be greedy and make crappy content to make money. So that's always going to be a thing.
This topic's going down into a depressive hole. What's the next one?
Yeah, let's move out of it. That's it, right?
I agree.
Yay!
Good job, Square Enix.
Wait, what?
Okay,
But they
we're
made
gonna
a
move
crappy
on.
game. Oh,
We're definitively moving on to our next topic, which is IO Interactive, the development studio
Hitman.
behind the Hitman games, is working on a James Bond game currently titled Project 007.
Oh,
okay. Very creative.
That's a funky
so
name.
unique.
Oh, it's a working title, right?
Yeah, it's like
Probably.
the
Okay,
working
okay,
title
okay,
for it,
okay.
Yeah.
So what was the last Bond game to come out?
Probably one of the.
I don't even know.
Pro-
A long time
well,
ago.
Yeah, it's probably
There
one of
was
the film tie-in video games.
no, wasn't there a remake of
Oh,
GoldenEye?
at GoldenEye, yeah, I think so. That sounds
And
familiar.
then before that, I think there might have been like a Casino Royale game.
Yeah, there was.
maybe.
Well,
But you know that,
yeah.
like that was right around the kind of like the end of when like movie tie-in games were happening. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And which the kind of funny thing about it is that like, and maybe this is me being a dumb kid at the time and not being aware of like the James Bond movies that were coming out, but like I remember there being quite a few James Bond games that came out that had nothing to do with any movie.
Yeah, there were. I owned a
Like-
couple, I think.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want to say Nightfire has
Yeah,
nothing
I
to do
had
with the
that one.
movie,
Yep,
and Everything or Nothing has nothing to do with the
Yeah.
movie.
that one too. Yeah.
But yeah, and then yeah, for whatever reason, like around the time they started doing the Daniel Craig movies, they just like stopped putting out new Bond stuff. Like I said, they put out that GoldenEye remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it.
I think they did Quantum of Solace too. The tie-in.
Did they do a Quantum
I
of Solace
think
game?
I want to say they did. Can't remember. Let me.
Look it up.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, did you guys play any of the other James Bond games? How do you feel about James Bond games? How do you feel about James Bond?
I
Are
only
you
played
excited for
a
GoldenEye was
little bit
pretty
of-
fun.
Yeah, I played GoldenEye with Garrick. That was like the extent of my James Bond knowledge, and I feel like just having seen other James Bond games, they felt like crappy, movie to video game adaptations versus GoldenEye.
What I remember with GoldenEye is is the multiplayer or the versus kind of thing. I don't remember any other game that incorporated like AI into that. So you could like if you don't have anyone to play with, you can just play that like arena based FPS. And I don't remember that. It was like in the 90s too, so it was weird to see that.
Yeah, I think they did a really cool job with it.
And then speed running the dam mission.
So
Was,
the
really fun.
last 007 game to come out was Legends.
Oh wow.
And I'm actually looking at gameplay of it, and it literally just looks like a Call of Duty ripoff that couldn't quite do it right.
That was a thing that was happening because GoldenEye ended up like the remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, of GoldenEye ended up kind of being a Call of Duty clone in a weird way, like a Call of Duty strapped onto the like maps of GoldenEye, or at
So-
least that's my recollection of the consensus around it being. And I believe those are put out by Activision, so like that makes sense.
When was the original GoldenEye published? That's what I'm trying to look for right now. 95. Oh, that's handheld game. 97. So that actually came out before Call of Duty. So that's interesting. It was developed by Rare on the N64.
Rare.
So that is kind of cool that that was a predecessor to Call of Duty, and yet it ended up having to try to copy Call of Duty later. But I remember GoldenEye being one of the first like revolutionary shooters. It was one of the first shooters that did different guns well and made the guns feel substantially different. I mean, I'm not going to discount Doom. I know a lot of people would say, oh, well, Doom's a good example. It's like, well, of course it is. But I'm looking at it right now, and this game literally just looks like...
It's maybe the first one that like successfully translated first-person shooters onto a console.
And
Have you guys gone back?
Didn't make it feel like it was just a movie ripoff. And I think... I feel like the other Bond games...
Even though it totally is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, but I feel like it was a game itself. Like if they had changed the name and just not referenced it as a Bond game, it would have held its own regardless of that.
Actually, most of the James Bond games use a likeness of the current Bond, but has nothing to do with story. So Nightfire, Everything or Nothing, that uses the what's his name? Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, yeah.
James Bond, and then you have Bloodstone, which used Daniel Craig's James Bond, but has nothing to do with any of the movies.
I mean,
so you got a lot of
And
that.
so
So
Bond
He has
games were
those
coming
blue
out, and
eyes.
just people just weren't paying attention to them.
yeah,
They were like, whatever. It's funny because like, and like I
no, but those were all
personally,
pre 2012.
yeah.
Oh yeah, fair.
Apparently, there
personally
was supposed to
didn't-
be. Sorry.
Good.
No, you finished
There
your
was
statement.
there was supposed to be a Skyfall game, but that was canceled.
It got canceled. It was supposed to be by Telltale, wasn't it?
Yeah. No,
No, Activision. And then
Yeah,
Telltale was
Activision.
going to do one at one point, but then Telltale went under.
Ah,
Anyhow, continue.
That's true. I thought that was just a rumor.
Telltale going under? No, they haven't
No,
made it.
Telltale doing a Bond game.
Oh.
I don't know. From the sources I was reading, it was saying they wanted to, but like because Telltale went under. That was in 2014 that they stated they wanted to do that,
Telltale.
and then they
We're
went
getting off
under
topic.
shortly after. Anyhow, go ahead.
I personally didn't play very much GoldenEye. Like I have basically no affinity for GoldenEye whatsoever. Like I didn't play GoldenEye for the first time really until I was like a teenager, and I was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah.
Like,
if you
the
guys
controls
ever
are
go back,
garbage.
Yep. If you go back and play it on the N64, it is
Yeah.
garbage. It
I
is
was
so
going to say
bad.
we were barely. I mean, we were too young to be
Yeah,
really
it was-
playing
it was
it
the
when it first came out.
It was my first person game shooter
Okay,
experience.
I want to stop talking about GoldenEye for a second though.
Yeah.
Right? And this
Yeah.
is like my problem, right? Is because every time GoldenEye comes up, everybody's like,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, GoldenEye, GoldenEye.
I love GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Nightfire is so much better than
Nightfire
GoldenEye.
was so good. I
Nightfire
remember
is so good.
Mhm.
And it's like
the gadgets.
there's
Oh,
and not all of the missions, but there's quite a few missions that you have like so many different approaches for
Yeah.
solving the task, right? It's one of the few games that like in the James Bond franchise of games, in my opinion, that really like takes advantage of like all his gadgets and his like spy capabilities.
Yep.
The only thing that they're really missing is having like dialogue, right? Having you have to be like charismatic, right?
Yeah.
It's still at the end of the day just like a sneaking shooting game.
sneaky shoot.
But
Pew, pew.
when we're talking about IO here, right? That's something that like in terms of like stealth, that's something that they do
Yeah.
like fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be
Ooh,
interesting to
yeah.
see how they like weave in all the different Bond gadgets
Dude.
into
Oh my god, like
Right?
a hitman, but as a spy, like just that
Yeah.
sandbox spy gameplay. Oh,
Oh.
that'd be
which then
cool.
so like then we get into some weird things of like does it end up being open world or does it end up
No,
being like small
please
map
no.
based?
Probably small map base. Yeah.
Right. So here's the problem with that. What about his car?
Oh, you can add like a car mission, and you know.
Yeah,
like,
you
no,
can still do that.
No.
No, because look
No?
at
Like,
Call of Duty.
that's
Call of Duty's
so-
a rail system,
that's
and they do
so-
cars and stuff.
So like early 2000s.
Call of Duty gets away with it because it's like a military shooter. Right? I feel like Imagine if you got into a Hitman mission and you did a Hitman mission and then you went into the next Hitman mission and it's an on rails
Yeah, that'd be kind of
car
lame.
shooting
Yeah, true.
thing.
True.
And
I
then you
don't
go back
mind
into the
those so
next like
much.
open. Well,
They
I
don't-
just think that it's
don't
like
bother me.
antiquated game design, right? And
It
like
works
the only
in
reason
some
that it works
cases.
in the only reason that it works in the cases that it works is because it's like thematically like
Or it's very cinematic, I guess.
yeah, right. So it's like single player Call of Duty will do it sometimes, and they honestly don't really do it very much anymore.
No. No,
I can't even think of a time in the Modern Warfare campaign where they stick you in the back of a vehicle and like have you do a turret sequence.
because it's overdone in Call of Duty. Like no one wants to do that anymore.
Well, because it's bad. Nobody wants to do that. Like you have no
it was
like
good at
turret
the time.
sequences have no player agency. Your only ability is to point and shoot, right? You're like stripping away all the other utility and like options that the player has.
I think the problem is, and this has been talked about, I think on other like forums and game design forums specifically, where if you're going to do something like that, you have to give a person God mode, and it has to be short. They have to be able to like destroy everything and do it quickly. And
yeah, but then
feel
like,
like
what's
they're
the
all
what's the point of
powerful.
it even being there?
there
It might
there
as well
is
just be a cutscene.
There isn't,
that
and
hard?
but it's the same element as like when you start an RPG and you have all of your powers available and they get stripped from you. It gives you a
I
sense
hate
of
that.
like
That's the worst.
I think it's more
so
of just
common.
kind of creating like a new experience, like so you're not always doing the same thing over and
Yeah,
over.
it's to
kind of-
break up.
kinda
It's like a
break it up a little
halftime
bit.
show. It's to break up the
Yeah.
monotony. So
Because I think that's the original intent for those kind of missions.
yeah, there's better ways to do it. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just saying like that is the thought process, and that's the way to execute it properly. But it's not necessarily something that should be in every game.
What if it's just like certain missions you have like a bigger open map that you could use a car? You know, it's like I don't
Or I
think
was
all the
thinking,
Hitman games have
what
like.
if
what
it-
you-
What if it's just something like more akin to kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5, where
Yeah.
it didn't have like, or even like Metal Gear Solid 5, but you condense it more and make it like city spaces,
Mhm.
right? But just, enough that there are like streets for driving and like other Bond related activity that isn't just sneaking around spying,
Yeah.
right? Because like I feel like it would be, and maybe it's just because I think that like it would be weird in that style of game, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they end up totally going that kind of like linear mission, like linear mission structure, Call of Duty campaign style of storytelling.
Right.
But I feel like that would do a disservice to the brand and the IP. Like I
Are
feel
you
like
looking
there's
for
so
like
much
an
more,
Spider-Man type thing?
not like a Spider-Man, but like an open world spy game
Yeah.
where you're like,
I don't feel like I'd
That'd be-
feel happy in a situation where it's just like go pick up missions.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
there to do the missions, not
Yeah, 'cause-
find.
well, not
traverse the
necessarily.
world to
See,
get
that's the
there.
thing is like, it's not, when you bring up like open world, there's all this like connotation around like open world side mission garbage. Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that. It can just be a large map,
Like open
and you
world.
can
Like
have missions within it, but like the largeness and the complexity of the map allows for greater player freedom and expression through gameplay.
yeah.
Yeah, but what for?
Yeah, like if you're
But
going
the
to
whole
be given a
point,
mission,
like
why
what
travel
IO
to
is
it?
known for, is curating an excellent mission level that you traverse, and you have to figure out how to do it in your to accomplish the mission in your own way. And I don't like. I think they should lean into that more than try to create something new with this new theme. Like, it opens up more opportunities because of the 007 universe, but I love the whole framework that they set with the Hitman franchise already. So
I just think it would be a disservice to the brand if it just ended up being like Hitman with more gadgets.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be weirded out by a prospect of I'm a spy. I've been given a mission. Okay, let me just go drive this way instead and do a race or whatever. Like I don't know why.
Okay, again, we're getting hung up on like
No, but I just imagine
it doesn't
GTA.
have anything to do with it or being a race.
No, I know, but I
Like-
just imagine GTA when you say something like that. I'm
Right,
just
and
like,
I
what's the point of me
specifically
driving?
said we need to like decouple these notions of like larger open maps having to have all this like open world extra fluff garbage.
But what are you
Right,
doing though? Like, what's your point other than like
I don't know,
I have to
like,
travel?
Tracking targets or like
So like more Assassin's Creed, but with vehicles.
well, you can curate a whole level, like a really large level for that, like a part of the city. Or
Yeah, that's
something.
what- that's
you
what
don't
I'm
need
seeing.
The whole,
Well,
So you don't
isn't
need
that
a whole
essentially?
open
world.
Wait, what? I mean, that's essentially an open world, right? Like, I mean, I feel like
Well, that's
I
no,
feel
that's
like,
exactly
But it's
how
Hitman games.
Hitman does it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a
but
it's a map,
Hitman's
but it's
so
open.
it's confined.
It's confined, but you can open those up.
Yeah, it feels open to a certain point, to the point where it's enough to you feel like you're not on rails, but at least you can do what you need to get there in your own fashion and finish the mission. It's a happy medium.
I think we're moderately all on the same page. It's just like the way that we understand and envision. It's all different. Like we do believe that there should be room for the player to breathe, but not.
Because how Hitman works is you're inserted miles away like a normal spy, right? Or a normal person, because you're not going to drop by helicopter onto the house. You have to insert yourself and traverse the terrain and avoid and or kill people who are in the way.
So violent.
And I think that and you actually have to spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes getting to the actual mission area for that level. And I don't know. I think what isn't broken, why fix it? But it does open opportunities, and I'm okay with that.
They have to create something new though for James Bond. Like it would make sense for them just to slap. It's basically like putting out a Jurassic Park Lucky Charms. You know, you just change the marshmallows. To
I want
diamonds.
Jurassic Park Lucky Charms. Take my
If
money.
I recall, like for the most part, like the cars were a big thing for the movies and the films and stuff, but it wasn't until like some of the most recent James Bond films, if I recall, that car chases were a big deal. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like car fights and chases.
They've always because James
They
Bond
have
always
that?
had like kind of gadgets, like
He's a
very
playboy.
high. Yeah, like fancy cars with like miniguns that pop out and stuff like that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's always been like the case.
Yeah,
It wasn't actually. It was actually the the Daniel Craig movies where they kind of toned down the gadgets and the sexy cars and stuff, and then they kind of slowly
they
brought
kinda
it back.
grounded it.
Yeah, they kind of slowly brought that back in, but not as much as the old ones.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? Solstice that it was like
Solace.
Solace, that one, where it was like you hardly saw any of the gadgets. I think I haven't seen all the Bond.
Casino Royale was the first kind of reboot Daniel Craig, and it had like no gadgets that I can remember except
It
for
was
like
all-
a defib in his car. I think was the only gadget they used.
Yeah, I think the focus was just like because it was a reboot. They wanted to
Yeah.
focus on the character and his spycraft and how he goes about it, and not have to use it as a crutch. So it's understandable.
Well, I guess the premise here basically is IO Interactive isn't known for their open world, but Joey would be interested to see it. I'm like intrigued to see how they would do that without having the fluff of those other missions, because I feel like that's what encapsulates an open world, is having those extra like, hey, you could do this type thing. But I'd say it's highly unlikely. But let's just wait and see as far as that goes, because it's a brand new project, right? They haven't even fully announced what they're doing for anything.
Yeah. And also when I describe open world, I don't mean like as big as a map in like most open world games.
Yeah,
right?
you're describing it the way
I still
Garrick
mean the
is.
kind of sense of like a Hitman map, but just larger.
Yeah, because
So
when
that you have vehicle play.
yeah,
Because in my opinion, vehicles are very integral to the Bond experience.
Would you say that
Like you
like-
can't have Bond without his Aston Martin that's like spewing oil out the back and has miniguns in the front.
Would you
Okay,
say
I
that
can
the Batman
imagine-
games would be a good equivalent? Because they're semi-open world, large maps with vehicles.
I can
Yeah, maybe.
imagine that, like Bond being an international spy, he travels from city to city. That's understandable. Yeah, I think.
So you got like
okay.
a small Paris map, a small London map, a small
Yes.
Moscow map.
yeah,
That's
And-
large
and a
enough that
3-minute
you have
loading screen.
vehicles driving around.
yeah. That's the one thing a
Still-
Bond game or any spy game needs is multiple like exotic locations. That's
Yeah.
the one thing it needs.
And 3-minute loading screens.
No, sure. No, just get an SSD. Come on, PJ. Come on,
So
it's
yeah,
2020.
if it's a
gotta
quote
be on the
unquote
PlayStation
open
5,
world
man.
like that, in that sense that Joey described, then I'm cool with that. I think we are pretty much in agreement. Just
That's what I was about to
Just
say.
keep
You
the
guys
essence
I was
both
of
sound-
it.
I was articulating it poorly.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And,
you
and
guys
the
sound
PJ
very
didn't help
close.
by kept on by him saying
Grand Theft
side
Auto!"
quest, racing,
Oh, no, that's
racing.
what I'm just imagining that. Like when you say open world, I think Grand Theft Auto and I think of racing.
But like imagine if it's like a situation where like you're as Bond, you're like thrust out into the world and you're like, all right, you're international spy.
Do your thing.
Here's targets. Figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, like
Yeah.
you can like woo this person to get information. Ooh.
And
Well,
maybe
yeah,
you can,
and
like,
spycraft detective work
Yeah.
too, finding more intel.
That'd be cool.
because like the way that Hitman games, they're so like the levels are not integrated across each other at all.
Right.
Like what happens in one level doesn't affect what happens in the other level. They're just kind of like stages almost.
Yeah.
So you want it to be
um,
more like
Like a broader world.
Commander
Everything's
Shepard.
connected.
I wanted to play
storyline.
more with I wanted to play more with the idea of like the main character being a character
yeah,
that
Mass
can do
Effect, that's
things
what-
in the world.
Oh wow,
So a Mass
an actual
Effect,
narrative.
a
Yeah,
Mass
we're-
Effect.
to be
Hitman.
fair with Hitman, right? Agent 47 is deliberately supposed to be that stoic, not
Robot.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
I am a
killing
robot
machine,
assassin.
basically.
Whereas, yeah, I guess that's the opposite because like Bond is very like
Flamboyant.
not flamboyant. He's very
He kills you with his
humanistic.
words.
Yeah.
Well, that and it's
And
like the
coitus.
whole series is about like being a man, having cool technologies, fucking these chicks.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
that's-
god.
That well, no, it's. The
I
truth.
wonder. I wonder if they'll have quick time events for the coitus scenes.
I mean, Mass Effect did it, so
Did
why
it?
would
They
they-
did? I don't
Wait, they had
remember.
Wait, they had quick time events?
Not quick time events, but they had cutscenes.
Okay.
No,
I was like, I do not remember
the one
that.
that had quick time events was God of War.
Furiously press A and B.
yeah.
No, God of
Well,
War did that.
Well,
No,
before
no,
that
it was
was
Triangle, but
was-
that's not the point.
Oh,
Before that was GTA San Andreas with their hot coffee.
Yeah, but that was a mod.
press
talking
F
about-
to
No,
F.
well,
It
it wasn't a
wasn't-
mod.
it wasn't actually a
It was
mod.
hidden in the code.
Okay, well, whatever.
It would be like if I put my PS2 disc in the computer and then just like activated the files that were there, but like not activated.
I mean, that's
That was the OG QuickTime sexy
it's
time.
it's
minigame.
Rockstar. Anywho's, not. Let me just quick disclaimer. Fuck the chicks. I do not.
Oh
mean
my
to
god!
offend
Oh my
with
god!
that. Okay.
Oh my goodness!
I was on with Dork. I said PS2 disc. It probably wouldn't be a PS2 disc. It'd just be a
It was
PC copy of the
placed.
game.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole.
I don't know. I vaguely remember it being possible with the. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe
I
it was
think-
just that like because it was in the code for the game, they had them pull every version of the game down,
think
even
that
though
was
it
the
was only
reason.
possible on the PC version.
Yeah, I think that was it. Because the code was still in the game, but you can't reach it
It's
through
right.
PlayStation.
It's so funny that by today's standards, that's just such a prudish thing to worry about.
Yeah, right.
Back then, it was like, oh, it was like in
Oh,
every magazine,
no.
but now it's just like, okay.
I don't know, man. Even then, like, cause say what you will about the sex scenes in like Mass Effect, but like, they're at least like there's an attempt to shoot them in kind of like a soft core, like,
Yeah.
you know, don't show too much type.
Yeah,
of
you're
way.
not like
Whereas,
legit
like,
grinding.
The GTA Hot Coffee mod was just straight up like full exposed nudity.
I mean, triangles, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Triangles.
Right. But you know, the idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so many
it
triangles.
definitely accentuates the idea more so than any other sex scene did. Because even like God of War is well known for its sex scenes, and even in those, it's like a suggestion of what's happening, like a bottle falling over or a bed shaking or shadows in the background, not the direct like, oh, this is what's happening. So
And now we're at 2020 with you have Cyberpunk. Choose your penis size.
yeah,
Wow.
we're doing that.
So
That's gonna be
immersive.
interesting.
So immersive.
Okay, we got to move
go
on. Let's
Yes,
move on
let's do
to our
our favorite thing.
game show within our podcast.
Oh wow.
Name that game.
It's time for everyone's favorite game. Name that game. The game where you guess the game and the prize is nothing but bragging rights. With our host, Joey.
Okay, the way this game works is I will read a description of a character, and then one of the three contestants will buzz in on Discord
Oh yeah.
and take a stab at the game franchise and the character.
Okay.
Okay. He
They're
just posted a
generally-
picture of The Simpsons with Krusty the Clown. I don't know who that is. And then the Jorgen von Stringel, or
Stringel?
Arnold Schwarzenegger parody.
the Arnold Schwarzenegger parody from the show. It
they're
says
judging.
judges.
Yeah.
Anyhow, sorry, that surprised me. Go for it.
Got you.
All right. Are we ready to go?
Oh,
Yeah, always ready.
No.
We're going to start off with our first character.
Uh-huh.
An arrogant and proud swordsman at first.
Oh.
This character introduces himself to Avalanche as a former member of an elite warrior unit called Soldier,
What?
was turned mercenary and is uninterested in anything beyond his hired task at hand. He later discovers more about his past, and with the help of his friends, learns there is more to being a hero than possessing physical strength and fame. Developing compassion for the planet and people he fights to protect.
Oh wow.
What?
Wonderful.
Name that character.
Is that it?
Can we have a clue as if this is like what kind of media this is? Because
Usually it's a longer.
It's name that game.
It's a video game. We always start with video games.
okay, I just wanted to confirm that I was right on that.
Soldier.
Soldier. Swordsman. World saving.
Avalanche.
Buzz.
Avalanche.
Avalanche.
I have no clue, but I'm gonna say Final Fantasy for the series. I don't know why.
That's a point for PJ.
Nice.
Oh whoa!
I could. Well, can I say the character guess?
Oh, damn it.
Is it Aaron?
Aaron Carter?
No.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Buzz, it's Cloud.
We have a point for PJ and
Oh.
a point for John.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know
What?
that game. I've never played that game before.
How'd you,
You just
know?
chose the most. You chose the most
'Cause I've heard
iconic
Cloud
character.
before.
Oh wow.
It's fine. I'll take my point. You
We
have
didn't
your
even
point.
talk about Final Fantasy
We'll-
today.
we'll
What
divvy
is
it
a
up.
Final Fantasy?
Well, no, we
talked
talked
about
about
Square
Square Enix. Yeah, Joey's on the
Oh.
Square
ball.
Enix.
It's the only game that we have on our list. So, our only game company
Wow.
we have on our list. So, hats off
Okay.
to that.
Does he have a
Go
last
on.
name or is it just Cloud?
Pretty sure it's
He
just
does have a
Cloud.
last name.
Oh,
It's
you wanna
Mr.
know?
Cloud.
sure.
Or does somebody want to guess for a point?
Oh, okay. Wait, Buzz. Cloud Storm.
Is it Cloud Rain?
Damn it.
Incorrect.
Okay, go ahead, PJ. What's your
Cloud
guess?
McGooian. I don't know.
Cloud.
That is-
Cloud.
Incorrect.
Make Cloud Face.
No, the Cloud face.
The word we were looking for is
Piss.
strife.
Oh, I
Strife?
wouldn't even- I wouldn't
Cloud
guess
Strife?
that.
Cloud strife.
That's not
Strife?
catchy at all. That's
No.
not.
That's not a hero's
it's
name.
edgy.
It needs to have alliteration.
edgy?
Come on,
It's
Square
Edgy.
Enix.
I don't know that's edgy.
Cloud.
Come on, cloud strife.
Sounds like a name from the
Uh,
70s.
It kind
or
of
the
does.
60s.
It sounds like a bad porn star name.
Oh.
Oh, how would you know, PJ?
I get bored sometimes. I think of porn star names.
Nice.
It's a hobby.
Okay, we're gonna move on to
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
character number 2.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
A paid assassin and a clone. This character
Wow.
gets his name from being a clone created from the DNA of 5 different men, made to be perfect assassins
Buzz.
who.
I think I know what it is. Shit.
Hitman.
That's a point for John.
And his name's Agent 47. I think that's his
That's
name.
2 points for John.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, my
baby.
God.
I was.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
not guess right in my head. So
I didn't even know that was his backstory.
Wait, really?
Talk
I
amongst
just-
yourselves for like 30 seconds. I need to
Rabble,
let my
rabble,
dog
rabble,
in the
rabble.
room.
Oh, Borf.
I just played the Hitman games. I didn't care
There's
about
a
the lore.
story. Oh,
I didn't
really?
play
I
any of them,
cared
so I wouldn't.
Well,
have guessed.
about assassinating people.
What did you even watch the fantastic Hitman straight to DVD? Wait, not straight. Film Hitman.
Straight to
Yeah.
DVD.
The guy from Justified, right?
Wait, was it? I think it was like 2. Isn't there
Yeah.
2 Hitman movies?
So wait.
Yeah, there's a few Hitman movies. I think.
Yeah, there is. But he's a combination of 5 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a clone.
Yeah, he's
clone, dude.
Frankenstein.
They
I
took
didn't know he was a
DNA
clone.
and formed the perfect.
Perfect
Assassin.
assassin.
So wait, is he still considered a human though?
Yeah, he just has
Yeah, he's
DNA
a
of
clone.
Yeah,
people.
Just because he's
it's
a
not
clone
like they
doesn't
use
mean
like
he's not
tiger
human.
DNA. Like
Oh my-
Well, no, I was. I don't know why. It's like the way you
A
guys were describing
monstrosity.
him. I was thinking like some sort
He's-
of part machine, like a cyborg type thing. Anywho,
Nah, he's human.
The only
He's
thing
so
that they
perfect, he's
missed
like a
out
machine.
though, he's not perfect because he's bald.
That's true. Yeah.
no, that's perfect. See, he doesn't grow hair,
So it doesn't.
which means he
distract
doesn't leave hair anywhere.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
is that
Like
real?
hair nowhere.
I don't. It should be.
Yeah,
Joey
you
just
should
made
write-
his own
If
lore
it's
that
not-
actually
Yeah,
makes
there you
sense.
go. That makes
But it
sense.
does make sense, yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes plenty of
Well
sense.
done.
That and he doesn't have to worry about hair getting in his face when he's sniping someone.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
who's sniping with like
You know
long
what,
hair?
John? Just let me have this,
I
okay?
just imagine the
Take
boss
your
kid's,
points
like,
and
trying to
shut
snipe.
up. Get out of
blowing
here.
And if
Get out of here.
trying to whip his hair back before the snipe.
Uh,
Go ahead, Joey. What's the last one? I'm intrigued.
Okay, we are going to move on to our curveball
Oh God,
of the
my
game.
worst, my worst category.
Wow, as is tradition, I am losing.
oh no.
This could be a character from a video game, a movie, or
Ooh.
television.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Or book?
Probably not book.
Okay.
Who reads here anyways? Come on.
Push
Come
it.
on.
I don't.
I think I wanted to bring up talking about books one time, and everybody shut me down.
Oh no, I'm all about the books, but Garrick's read
I'm all
like
about
3 in his
books.
whole lifetime, so I don't know how good that you do.
Well, no, I've read a lot of books through SparkNotes. So
I'm well
me
read
power-
in Spark
The
Notes.
Spark Notes.
give me that Power of One or of
Oh,
My
that's such a good
Men.
book. You should have read that book. It was a really good book.
Yeah, but I was at a point where
Power of
ain't
One was
nobody got
really
time
good.
for that.
Yeah.
But
You need to read Tondia
I think
too. Shout out to
I haven't
Bryce
seen- I haven't read that yet.
Courtney. Bryce Courtney, great writer. He's dead.
if I
Oh,
might have to come
recipes,
back
I
to
think.
the Power of One though, and
I would
actually
definitely
read it.
reread it and then read Tondia afterwards. Long ass book.
Okay,
worth it.
character number 3.
Oh yeah.
Like fuck
Go
this
on.
book stuff. Yeah. Uh-huh.
In his legitimate activities, this character is a quiet programmer for the respectable software company Metacortex.
Oh, wow.
But he is also a
Huh?
computer hacker who penetrates computer systems illicitly and steals information.
Oh,
He
that
also
sounds like all
sells
hackers.
illegal, untraceable computer systems and hacking programs,
Oh no.
along with controlling computer viruses stashed on CDs and diskettes. During his time as a hacker, the character has learned about something known as the Matrix. It is described as a vague
Wait, what? Buzz?
notion.
Is it?
John?
Oh, no, I beat you, John.
Don or Garrett?
Oh, Garrett technically did beat you, yeah.
Oh,
He didn't
a ninja buzz.
verbally.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He beat you on the bus.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll give it. I'll
Go
give it to him.
ahead.
I'll give it to him.
Buzz.
Oh, okay.
There. How about that?
Yeah.
This is the Matrix. Neo.
2 points for Garrick.
I
Aw,
feel
you
like
should've
it's
done-
kind of weird that you put the
That-
name in the description though. I mean, you're the czar.
Oh,
I'm
I
not-
guess it totally is the name. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
That
kind of
was
gave
like
it
a-
away, Joe. I was gonna
Well-
buzz, but I'm just like, you know,
I was
what?
gonna. Yeah, I knew.
I
alre-
hesitated.
Yeah, I hesitated because I knew
It was too
already. I was like,
easy.
"That's Matrix," but then it's like, I should have just buzzed.
That's
it
what
earlier.
happens when you do name that game with like no sleep.
Uh,
Oh wow.
Well, it's fine. It gave Garrick a little bit of a boost.
I'm back, y'all.
see, you should have gone with the hacker Trinity instead.
Yeah, I was about to say if
Oh.
it was besides Neo.
Wait, are they all considered hackers?
Trinity was a hacker. She was like a.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all hackers, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they have to
they're
like,
all
figure out how to
hackers.
hack their way out of the
They
matrix.
have to
Yeah,
jack.
true, true,
well,
yeah.
it doesn't take much to like jack in and.
Yeah.
do-
But
Is that
Trinity-
wait?
in the
Is
movie,
hacking?
Hmm.
Is like so? What they're doing in the Matrix? That's considered hacking.
Yeah, they're hacking into the Matrix so they can plug.
It's
themselves in.
visualized. Okay.
Yeah, they're like hacking in and out,
Yeah,
Okay.
like with
That
their
makes sense.
mind.
yeah. But also in the
There's
first
so much
movie,
metaphor.
Neo already knows Trinity because that was the name of the hacker Trinity. So yeah.
Ah. It's
I
been
don't
so
know
long.
jack
I totally
shit
forgot.
about
I totally
the
forgot.
Matrix,
Neo was a
dude.
hacker.
Matrix was like my middle school hood. Middle school hood? Childhood? Not childhood, but
Oh.
middle school. That age, tweenhood. Is that what you call it?
What?
I don't know. That age range.
It was his
That,
jam.
that was
is
that was
what
my
he's trying to
jam
say.
back in middle
Yeah.
school. Yeah, yeah. So
It's not. It
God,
wasn't
John,
Space Jam.
just use proper
I,
vernacular.
words are hard. Come on.
Okay.
But it's not. It's not. I wasn't. I guess I was a child technically.
Well,
But it was
everybody,
not my whole childhood. That's what I'm
everybody
trying
got
to say.
points
Okay.
this round. So
Whoa! What's
Oh,
what's the
wow.
score?
I have 12. Garrick has 9, and John, you have
Oh.
13. The lucky number.
Oh.
Oh, that's my favorite number. We should stop right there because that's my favorite number.
Okay,
Also, I'm in the
perfect.
lead.
Well,
GG everyone. Good game.
Before we move forward, because I so sillily, is that a word?
Oh.
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
we'll take it.
Cecile.
Had the name of the thing in there. I'm gonna throw an extra point out there for anybody
Oh.
potentially.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what?
If it's doing the Matrix, I'm screwed.
What was the question?
What is Neo's like Matrix name?
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
God.
fuck. Hold on. I'm clicked out. Wait, where is it? Buzz.
can't look it up.
Buzz, you're the only one that knows
Buzz.
it, John. Go
What?
ahead.
It's Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, how the hell would I know that?
Oh
I'm just gonna
wow.
give you
John
the
gets a
point because I
point.
already know that he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
hard on for this thing.
I forgot. And freaking Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
I wouldn't have. I
forgot
wouldn't have
about
given
that.
it. I wouldn't have given it for just for Mr. Anderson. I wanted the first name specifically.
Oh.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, I wouldn't have remembered. It's just been so long since we might have to do a watch party
Yeah.
sometime. I'm down.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Go on, Joey.
Okay, let's move out of our silly game that we play.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I like didn't get any sleep last night.
No,
Oh,
you
no.
good? You good? I thought it was
You
funny,
good,
and I
boo?
was just like, I know the answer because you
Yeah.
just said it, but I'm gonna
No,
let
I
someone
said
else.
before. I should have. God, I did what Garrett does.
I know.
Should've just went for
Hesitate.
it.
I should
You should have just expected that I was giving away a free point. And
No,
just
you
gone
were
for
you
it.
just say you were giving Garrick the points that he needed
Yeah,
to start
yeah,
catching up.
Yeah, just go with that.
John,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
3
Pity
points
me,
this
John.
round. You got 3 points
Pity
this round.
me.
You can spare
It's not
1
enough
or 2.
though. Someone's
No,
still
you know-
a point away.
You know, honestly,
Well, John,
what
you
it
should
is?
feel bad. This is your tween hood.
Why are you
I know.
giving you points? Why are you like shitting on him?
You shouldn't have failed, John.
Damn,
okay.
failed.
What is it, Joey? What were you saying?
I was gonna say in my like tired state because I stayed up all night because I had to do a homework assignment that I didn't realize to do today.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Awkward.
So I was like working on. I was doing the podcast script and stuff at like 11 o'clock or something today. And I know where my mind was at.
The Matrix.
Mentally, I was like, the Matrix, the movie, and the Matrix and the Thing aren't the same thing. Like the Matrix is a movie in the
Yes,
real
you're right.
world, and the Matrix is this thing in the movie.
I was gonna
That-
say,
That's
like,
not
I
real.
followed your train of thought as you were saying it, but I was just like, but Joey, that's the title. Like,
Yeah.
I felt bad as you were saying it because I know why you thought that already.
I wanted to see where he was going before it was too late, but I was like, okay, it is the Matrix. It's too late.
I
Yeah,
felt-
if I actually threw a curveball in there, and I'm like, I'm looking for the Animatrix actually.
Yeah.
oh
Ooh,
damn,
yeah,
you
there
should
go.
have.
Joey's
That would be
die
cool.
has been cast.
Okay, what are we doing now? Let's go.
Okay, let's talk about like movie stuff maybe.
There's
Oh
so
wow,
much
Maybe.
more
movie stuff.
movies.
Wow.
I love movies. It's fun.
Have you guys ever seen the Toxic Avenger?
I have not.
No,
No, but I read about
I've
it.
heard of it before.
Wait, is it? What is it? What medium?
It's like
is
a
it?
like a like
It
a
is
gross
a, like-
slasher thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a schlocky, like B horror.
Let me see.
Like, I don't
It's
really
a
know how to
horror,
describe
really?
it. It's kind of a horror, yeah, because it like
It's like a
it's like a
horror
weird mix
comedy or
between like a
something, right?
horror, but you're like rooting for the monster.
1984. It sounds really familiar, and the face like it.
Yeah,
the
I've
face is
seen it
pretty
before. I mean,
unforgettable.
yeah, I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the character and the name of it before.
I used to watch it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up.
Nice.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites. I don't know why, because it's like horrifically
Yeah, right.
gory. And
It is.
Yeah.
It's not like it's maybe not horrifically gory, but like
I want it's good, like
pretty
kind of
gory.
you know, it's like back in the like I don't know, like 80s kind of that slasher, just fake dummies getting like bludgeoned with blood and guts coming out of it. You know.
I'm watching the movie trailer, and it's very campy and cheesy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a grind,
it's very
like
campy.
like a grindhouse movie, I guess, right? It's like
Yeah, it's like a
Kinda like
B
that.
movie.
yeah,
You know, like a cheap, schlocky, like whatever. You
Yeah.
know, but it's fun.
it-
It's a fun
There's
movie.
a
I like
dude
it.
in the trailer screaming because he's so afraid of seeing his ugly face that he starts peeing
yep. hmm
his pants. It's hilarious. Anyways,
Wait, so is it a nerdy guy that jumps out of a window into a toxic? What the heck?
He doesn't. I don't believe he jumps out of the
Oh, he gets
window. I
thrown
believe he
out.
gets thrown out the window. But yes,
Yeet.
it's like the premise, the basic premise of the movie is it's like a nerdy guy
Poor
who's
nerdy
like
guy.
getting like harassed by all the jocks and stuff at the like gym or whatever, and they like bully him into falling out the window into a vat of acid where he becomes the Toxic Avenger and then goes to like I
Murder
don't know how to
people.
describe it.
Murder bad
Kill
guys.
them.
Yeah.
Like kill the people who've wronged him.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's so random.
Dish out some justice, some toxic justice.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
see the peeing part. Okay, so this is just
No, but it's super weird. Like I don't know if I want to like, because I don't know how much of like the. First of all, we didn't even bring up like the actual headline. I just
Yeah.
started
Why?
talking about Toxic Avenger.
Why did you bring
Uh,
it up?
What is this on Deadline?
oh
Yes. Deadline's reporting Peter Dinklage is going to star in Legendary's Toxic Avenger reboot. Everybody likes Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Toxic Avenger.
Oh god.
I don't know how much I want to talk about it because I don't know how much going to end up in this reboot. Right.
This
So,
is
like,
horrifying.
I don't want to spoil things, but like, Toxic Avenger goes some places and it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me more. Tell me
And-
more.
And weird, and like,
So you're saying we should
it's a
watch
weird
it?
movie.
Okay.
Wait, so
I
that
highly
scene,
suggest watching it. Yeah.
Okay.
The
This-
original for sure.
the scene where like the girl's feeling his face and stuff like that. I didn't know that was from this movie. I thought that was. I didn't know
No,
it-
that's no. You're thinking of. So it's a. I don't know if it's a straight ripoff or just an homage, but no, that's a scene from a different movie that you're thinking of.
It's probably just like a parody of it. Okay.
Yeah, or kind of doing the same. I could see how people would independently come to the same scene. You know what I mean?
Literally, the whole trailer, right? 3-minute trailer is literally just people getting thrown through stuff and getting shoved against something that's hurting them.
Also,
See, they
I
need to
think
bring back those trailers. Those were the good trailers. It wasn't giving away anything.
yeah. Well, yeah.
It's just what to expect.
What helps is that they filmed so much footage that they had like lots of extra footage. So I think a lot of the
Of
stuff on the
people
trailer.
getting thrown.
Yeah, not just that, but in general,
Oh,
People dying.
people dying.
Did they actually like? So the whole trailer, they didn't even show his face at all.
No, you're gonna save that for the movie.
yeah, because
dog.
they didn't want to spoil it. They
just gonna
actually
watch the movie.
designed the trailer to not spoil anything. Good job.
That's
Good.
crazy.
Anyway, they don't really go into any detail as to like what character Peter Dinklage is playing.
Yeah, because
Right?
like
the headline
him-
is like star in,
right.
but it doesn't go into any
Like,
detail.
is
about,
he the Toxic Avenger?
right?
Mhm.
Which would
That'd
be
be kind of
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to him as Tyrion from Game of Thrones, but I can't see him as a nerdy person or act like a nerdy person.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
they
doesn't
might
seem like
they
it,
might not
does he?
go that route. Maybe I don't know. Should be interesting though. If he is the Toxic Avenger.
So do you think it's like he? Do you think it? Do you think the Toxic Avenger will have a different actor as like the dweeby character, and then Peter Dinklage is just voicing the Toxic Avenger?
Maybe.
That might
That'd be
work.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
So you're saying that maybe the Toxic Avenger will be like a CG character?
Oh,
Well,
hope not.
or just like a stuntman in a suit,
yeah.
Possibly.
if they want to go down the like.
They
Um,
could even go a different route altogether and
mocap.
make him like a sidekick, like a comic relief sidekick, or even like a mentor. I don't know.
Oh wow, you know what? I didn't think about that, but
Like a
that is
soft reboot?
totally like a way that they could go with that, huh?
Yeah.
He could just be like he could be the Toxic Avenger's buddy.
Or it could be his dad.
Isn't there like a Toxic Avenger cartoon series too? Is that
Probably. I mean that the picture that's in like that I'm coming up with constantly is comic booky looking, so I could imagine.
yeah,
this
there
is a
was in the
cartoon.
90s. It was one season.
Yeah, I can't imagine a grotesque thing working very well with WB or any of the like big networks on Saturday mornings. Like I'm sure most kids don't want to sit there eating their cereal watching this like mutant run across the screen.
I mean,
I
he
don't
doesn't look. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures. He doesn't look that bad in the cartoons.
Not in the cartoon, no, but like the movie actually looked a little
Rude.
just a little. It wasn't. I mean, it was campy. It was '84, but yeah, some of the stuff like he dropped a weight on a guy's head, and it's like the metal prong portion of it went through the guy's. Ugh. I don't know. I couldn't watch the original, even if it's campy, just because like the way that people die is very gruesome. It's very Final Destination esque. So I don't know.
Better.
Yeah, I feel like the new movie is gonna be too real for me. If I couldn't watch the
Well, yeah, that's the
84
thing. Is it? Are they going for the family friendly Toxic Avenger, or are they going for
If
the
they go
the original?
Deadpool route, then I'd be kind of okay with it
Which
because
I feel
Deadpool's
like-
pretty gory too.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's not like to the point where it's unstomachable if you have a weak stomach for like blood and gore, which I do. But if they go that route, then I might be able to handle it.
There's something to be said about like the over the top gore not being as like visceral as something that's a little bit more toned down, right? Like I feel like The Boys is like that. I don't know if you guys have watched any of The Boys.
Oh, I love The Boys.
But like
so good.
So
there's
good.
like ridiculous gore where like
Yeah.
characters are literally just exploding
Like, heads
into, like,
popping up.
red
Yeah.
paste all over walls
You
and
mean
stuff.
realistic?
And it's just comical.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you're not taking it seriously, right? But when you see like a person get stabbed in the side, you're like,
they,
whoa,
like,
that
bleeding
dude
out
got
or
stabbed in
whatever.
the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
Kind of
what I
like,
mean? It's
what was it, 1918, where the guy gets stabbed. I'm not gonna say specifically who, but by the German soldier, and then he's bleeding out.
Spoilers.
Well, I didn't say who, so you gotta watch.
We know
it.
it's by a
anyway.
German though. Oh
Are you
man.
talking about Saving Private Ryan?
No,
Oh,
it was
that scene.
1918.
Oof.
No,
Yeah.
it was 1918.
When I was 1918.
Yeah, we watched
I
it
was
in movie
young.
theaters together.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the same exact scene pretty much. But
Yeah.
when in Saving Private Ryan, I watched it when I was young. I would always have to close my eyes because it was just so intimate of a kill, of a
Right.
death.
Right.
And that always got me compared to people just like getting blown up.
I feel like those hit me harder too, but like it depends. Like a good example is in Spider-Man when Venom gets blown up, or well, Tom gets blown up, I guess, while jumping into being Venom.
Spoilers.
That
Oh my
oh my god, it's a like 15-year-old movie. Calm down.
Oh,
That made me laugh. I literally rewound it 10 times to laugh at it
rewound.
over and over and over again. But
Yeah.
then watching someone explode, like if there's ligaments left behind, like the Boys, I heard there's one of the first episodes where a girl gets like exploded from a guy moving fast and their arms
that's
left
like
behind.
the first scene.
That's the first scene. Like, yeah, pretty much their
Spoiler.
equivalent of the Flash runs through a girl.
And then
Yeah.
her arm is still there though, right? That to me
That's
is disturbing.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
No,
it's kinda
that's-
funny.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Why would her
I
hands
like
be
it.
there?
I-
It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
that's
No,
like,
it doesn't, but
Everything,
it's
everything
gross.
gets vaporized by her hands. It's hilarious.
No, it's
Yeah.
gross.
Did you know, speaking of like gory, like not necessarily gory, but like intimate deaths, like Saving Private Ryan, Lord of the Rings, Saruman, the director's
Saruman.
cut. How
Oh,
he
yeah.
he doesn't live in the movie. Spoiler.
Oh, spoilers.
But in the director's cut, but how I forgot what his name is. Rest in peace.
Christopher.
Oh my god.
Shoot.
Sorry.
Yeah, but anyways, while you look that up, John.
Blue is
So
snoring in the
so the
background.
director was
Christopher Lee.
asking him to yell when he gets stabbed,
Ah!
but because he was in the military and
He's
has been
seen some
in-
people get stabbed in the
in-
back.
Yeah, he's actually been seeing people stabbed. He asked the director, have you seen that? Or like when you get stabbed, you don't yell. It's pretty much just exhaling.
Breath escapes you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
That's
what he
real
did.
acting right there.
I'm sorry, I'm very distracted. I was just saying Blue is snoring in the background. I hear her over my headphones. You guys talking. It's so,
So what was
loud.
his name, John?
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee. Rest in
He's-
peace.
He's the actor that said that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
was in the
insane.
military.
Yeah, because the direction was like, you're getting stabbed in the back. Scream. It's like, no. He's like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Right,
I
see,
was
that's
gonna
the
say
thing,
I
like-
can't imagine being stabbed and screaming.
I mean, how many
Like,
horror movies have you seen where the actor or the person gets stabbed back? Like, ah!
Well, that's common.
Yeah, I
all
always,
of them.
I
Yeah.
always get creeped out when they do it right, and it's just
It's
them
just
like
a cold shudder.
just them. Yeah, it's a shudder. Yeah, and that's God,
Oh yeah, no, that gives me goosebumps just thinking about that. Yeah, it's that's where the line of campy is drawn.
Yeah, it's just like your life force deflating out of the knife wounds.
Well, yeah, it's like you don't even have the strength to scream because you realize like once you scream you're giving up more of what's very little left behind. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Well, it's more of the realization that you're mortally injured at that point.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But we have no experience in this, so we can't really talk more about it.
I want to see how it goes once it gets released. If it's going to be that over the top gory where I can actually bear it and stomach it, or if it's going to be like a current day campy version of the 1984 movie and almost be like a Final Destination with a little bit of comedy. I don't think I'm gonna be able to stomach it, but it sounds like it's up your guys' alley.
I'm guessing it's gonna go more the Deadpool route.
Yeah.
Because
I
don't
hope so.
I don't think I've seen many like that 80s kind of campy but like overly graphic movies recently.
Well, in the trailer, it made me laugh too because he just randomly starts like shagging a girl and the blind chick.
But
Won't slide.
Like, I
these
feel like
days.
how did that even slide in the 80s? Like,
Because it 80s.
it's
I guess the
campy.
80s.
But see, that's the thing. Like, John, Sarah, and I have been doing like scary movie night at least once a week, and like
that's
we've ran into a few good ones and a few bad ones, and some of the bad ones were the ones that were more akin to the old style horror films where it's kind of campy and like the plot is not important. It's just about killing people
Yeah.
one by one and stuff.
So what
Like-
makes? Let me ask you guys this, since you guys have been watching so much horror movies. What makes Psycho such a stronghold still to this day? Like
It's
it's
the
not necessarily
first of
scary,
many.
but it's. Well, yeah, but is that what really keeps it?
It was
at
a
its
good
place?
attempt. It was a good attempt at
I wouldn't even say
portraying
it.
helplessness in a very vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And the death is pretty close. I mean, yes, there's some screaming and stuff and overacting, but like it's not necessarily, it's not over the top screaming.
Yeah.
It's believable screaming.
I think
Yeah.
it's like the acting and just everything like for a horror movie, like, you know, it's like it feels grounded,
Yeah.
even though again,
And-
it's like it's kind of campy, but I mean,
And
it's so old too, so it's like we didn't
Yeah.
see it when it first came out. When it first came out, it was probably like, oh, this is the most realistic thing I've ever seen. Like someone
Yeah,
getting
it
stabbed
must
in the
have been
shower.
horrifying for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
And one of the biggest things is the omission of
Yeah.
them filming the girl actually get stabbed. It allows your imagination to
Yeah.
fill in those gaps, and sometimes your imagination is worse than Hitchcock actually trying to portray it in his own vision.
I feel
Yeah,
like
'cause
anyone that comes to an age where they figure out about that movie and learn its plot peeks out of the shower every once in a while
Yeah.
just to double check.
Oh yeah,
And it's the way the editing too, because a lot of people that watched it the first time, they said that it's so visceral and it's so violent and gory. But if you look at it frame to frame, knife
not.
never touches anything.
No.
It's just the way it's edited and how it's cut is what made it like kind of seem so violent and visceral.
yeah. And your imagination just
And-
fills in
yeah,
those gaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the movements are very
movements and music too.
definitive by the actor
That
in the
music.
shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the music. Yeah, I think that was one of the very first movies that set a good strong tone with just the music alone. Like that sound, like it hit you. It's the same thing as how I think with Us, which you guys are saying Us is less of a horror movie, but that song,
Bum bum. How does it go?
It's a good song.
it
I would still listen to it.
it
Yeah,
creeps
that
you
came
out.
that
It
song
makes
came
your
on to work,
skin
and I was
crawl.
like, yeah, jam into it.
Oh really?
like
Yeah.
like a few days after we watched that, I was like, yeah.
Oh, what a coinky dink.
Well, I mean, for another good example, like our own. I mean, I wasn't really a part of the filming of this, but our own. Is it me?
You and me,
You and me.
short film.
Our own short film that we submitted for the horror fest this year. It that skin crawly music that you guys put to the like the ending, that got me. and it's
Nice.
just like just listening to it, it's like you sit there and you start
Oh.
getting goosebumps, and you know that
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something, because like if you watch that ending scene without it, it hits you still. You're like, oh, that's bothersome, but it doesn't
Yeah.
feel, it like doesn't hit you as hard. And then you put that music there, and you're like, oh god, I don't want to be a part of this situation.
Oh
So-
no, that's why you didn't film
Yeah.
with us. Oh gosh, rude.
But,
But-
like how we did it, we paid a lot of homage to a lot of films that we appreciated, and we couldn't have pulled it off without those films before us.
What
I feel like we're winning an Oscar or something.
No, I
Oh,
just I
is
wanted to
it?
bring it up because it's a good example of like something that we were a part of that
Yeah.
that showed that. But is it on Crucible's page? I just want to like plug it really
yeah,
quick.
I actually I made web pages for each of the videos that we've made together on our cruciblecreativity.com.
we don't
That's
we
our
don't
wedding
plug it very
slash
much anymore.
film thing. So
So that's
Yeah.
that's our more serious like side project. So cruciblecreativity.com, or we also have the Crucible Creativity YouTube if you guys want to check out a couple of our other works. But moving on from that, Toxic Avenger, I'm cool with whatever idea that they go with. I might not watch it, but it sounds like you guys are all on board for it. Is the synopsis here?
It's another superhero movie.
It's kind of more of a vigilante justice movie, but
Yeah,
yeah.
superhero, Batman.
Yeah, it's more
That's-
like an anti-hero movie.
yeah. Deadpool, superhero movie. Bada bing, bada boom.
I feel like Deadpool falls more into a category of superhero than anti-hero. Moving on from that.
That-
Yeah,
Well,
let's move on.
What's another old thing
Superhero
that's
movie.
coming back?
Yeah,
Possible.
Old things.
we're
Nothing
running pretty
original
late,
these days.
so let's just bring this up briefly. But there was I think Sci-Fi did this.
oh wow.
An interview with Maurice Lemarche, I think is how you pronounce his name. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
very-
French.
yeah.
But
Very
he
French.
voices multiple characters on the hit show Futurama.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know when did Futurama end? When
Oh,
was like the
long
last?
time.
early
the
2000s.
last one?
2003, I want to say, but I might be wrong. I'll double check.
That is correct. Based on the
Shit.
Sci-Fi Wire exclusive by Josh
wow.
Wells, it's 2003.
I don't know how I knew that.
Why
but
not
okay.
Goyberg?
I'm pretty sure the contributor's name's Josh Weiss.
Weiss.
Oh, it looked like an L. Sorry, that was weird.
I actually
I
didn't
hate-
read the article. I should have.
I hate when the font is just not good sometimes.
Yeah, no, with the like super tiny fonts and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It
the
looks
gist
like
of
an
the
L.
article is that apparently like the voice actors and the creatives on the original show frequently talk about how they would like to do more Futurama.
Oh.
And if, anybody comes to them wanting to give them money to produce more Futurama, people would probably be on board for it. So
I wonder if
I
it's
just
going
thought
to be
this was
like
fun
a
'cause I-
continuation or a complete like start over.
it'd probably be a continuation, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
It's actually been revived several times.
Yeah, it has been. Fox. Ugh.
Fox, then Adult Swim,
Mhm.
then Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Anyway,
it's
I
kind of
like
like a
Futurama a lot.
cult classic, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very because the cool thing. So I don't know if our listeners aren't familiar with Futurama, but Futurama
smart.
writers are
It's
very
smart.
educated. They
Mhm.
have like PhDs and stuff.
Yeah.
So their humor is very smart humor.
Wow. And then, yeah, it says Billy West here is going to be turning 80 soon. Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
They better get on
But
it.
I was gonna say, say for people getting so old that they might die.
Wow.
That's kind of the neat thing about animated shows is that there's no real like time limit to when you can get people back in to like do more of it. You know what I mean? Like if you compare it to anything in live action, right? People physically age over time.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can do some stuff to like de-age and age up people and stuff like that with special effects and CGI and whatnot.
Samuel L.
makeup.
Jackson.
But especially with like kids,
Yeah.
like that's not really an option.
right.
Which I know they ran into. I might be wrong about this because all the rumors and hearsay and stuff about the New Mutants, but it was like because of the like development hell that they got in.
yeah.
By the time that they were like able to potentially do
Into reshoots.
pickup shots and reshoots, everybody had like aged up,
Yeah.
and they like literally couldn't do it. I don't know if that's true. That's just like,
Well, that's what was
yeah.
happening with Harry Potter. That's why they had to like
yeah,
finally.
Harry
get
Potter
that
makes sense
shit.
because every book is pretty much a year later, so that works out.
Yeah, but
pretty well.
it was working, but then the development cycles were taking longer, and
they
they
got to the
aging
point where
too
they
quickly.
had to start. Yeah, they had to start
Ramping
aging
it
them
up.
down for some of the movies.
right,
And you could
then-
kind of tell by like the later movies, particularly like what it's like 4 or 5, where it's
they're,
like these kids are
full-blown
too old.
adults. Yeah.
Yeah,
But to bring it back to Futurama and reboots, just in general, it mentions the Animaniacs in the article, and
Oh, wow.
we actually did a viewing party of the Animaniacs. It was me, Sarah, John, and Garrick. I'm sorry, Joey, I should have given you the memo, but
Ah, Joey.
Oh.
it's fine. I don't care.
it was
It was
it
so
was
good.
so great
Yeah.
to rewatch it. So for anyone that's going to watch it, the Animaniacs portion of it is very, I want to say, geared towards getting you back into it, like hooking you back in, and they're referencing
it's like intro.
everything, and it was it was
Yeah.
more
It's
like
Typically
it's a welcome
breaking
back,
the
yeah.
fourth wall.
it was
as
it was breaking
usual.
the fourth wall, talking to the audience, telling them like we're back.
I mean, that's what they do, though.
Typical Animaniacs.
Yeah.
And it was so great to watch that. And then, but Pinky and the Brain, I feel like was the highlight of the first episode, because that's what really sucked me back in, because I was just like, man, I'm watching a new episode of Pinky and the Brain, and it feels like there was never
And
a
it
stop
felt
to
like it.
it.
Yep, it felt
Yeah,
like
it's
Yeah,
like it
it's
continued
crazy.
on from 1999.
And
Yeah.
that's the cool
So,
thing is because
blew my
like
mind.
with reboots, that's why at first I was reluctant, because reboots are usually iffy. Like I think Tom and Jerry wasn't a good reboot, for
Mhm.
example.
Oh,
But
no.
for some reason this
Wait,
one
that's
hit correct.
Well, no,
Yeah, it's been out for a few years.
yeah, you're talking about
Wait,
like
no,
the
I
one
just
for-
saw a trailer the other day.
Oh, that's a
for
live
one.
action, like kind of
Oh,
Space Jam
okay.
style thing.
Yeah, there's another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about
Wait,
like the
are
Cartoon
we talking about
Network.
Tom and Jerry?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Talking about the Cartoon
Yeah, that-
Network reboot of Tom and Jerry. I'm not gonna say I disliked it. I feel like the old cartoons hit in a different way.
Yeah.
Granted, I think the Tom and Jerry Cartoon Network movies are trash, but the TV show was okay. It's
Yeah.
still Tom and Jerry to me, and I love
But
it.
Bringing it back to Animaniacs.
It was on the dot.
It's like
Nailed
you
it.
said, PJ. It's just like they never left the writing room. It's
Right.
just a continuation.
and that's
The
rare.
essence
I
of
feel.
it.
Yeah. And Futurama, the creator of
that right.
Futurama, do that. I would love to see more Futurama.
I feel like the passion's there for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it would be the same thing. It's
it's a love letter to Animaniacs.
right. I feel like this decade has to be, and I'm gonna say this as on my soapbox. This needs to be the decade of reboots. We need a Friends reboot.
Oh
Let's-
God, no!
No, stop!
I need
We're always having
don't
enough
need no
reboots.
reboots.
Come
We
up
need
with
more
original
yeah.
stuff.
No, but
This
I
is a
want
lucky
the things that I
hit.
loved. I
No.
want them back.
PJ, then watch all of the Friends seasons. We have enough.
I
of
have
that.
twice.
No, I want same but different.
I want Friends.
Okay, how about Fresh Prince? That's coming out eventually.
Oh,
not
Wait,
with
they're
Will
doing,
Smith,
wait, they're
though.
doing a reboot on Fresh Prince?
Yeah, not with Will Smith.
Wait, who's
so
gonna be Will
we'll see.
Smith?
Wait,
And-
why?
And
Why?
Will
'Cause you asked
and
for it.
The
You
Fresh
did
Prince.
this.
Yeah, you
You
asked for
did
reboots,
this.
PJ. This is
No,
what you're
I'm
getting.
okay with reboots,
And
but keep the same
this
cast.
New Fresh
reboot
Prince.
is gonna be a little darker. It's not gonna. It's gonna be less funny. It's more of a drama.
I
Wait,
think brings
really?
back
Wait,
Alfonso.
what?
Yeah,
Is it going like gangs or something? It's like
I don't know.
Where's Alfonso? Is Alfonso there? Then I can maybe get on board.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let you know next week. and we'll inform you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see.
Me specifically, not the audience. Me. I
Yeah.
need to know.
You
Okay.
ask for this.
Give
did
us a
this?
like if you want to know more about this Fresh Prince reboot.
I don't think anyone
out
really gives a
there,
rat's
if you're
ass.
All
listening.
the Garrick with all the exclusive details on the front.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
You
yes.
you heard it here first. Click
If-
like for more info.
If they do the reboot for
Lil Uzi Vert
Futurama
cast is Will Smith.
and it's as on par as Animaniacs was,
Yeah.
yes. That's all I can say. Is
also,
yes.
if you guys have HBO, you guys need to watch, and you actually appreciated Fresh Prince as a TV show sitcom,
was
you should
okay.
watch the HBO Fresh Prince reunion where they bring back all the cast and just talk about all their memories and homage to James Avery and everybody else that was part of it. It was really good. It made me cry.
Oh,
Highly
okay.
recommend.
I cried on the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, don't remind.
I
And
never
the-
saw the.
That one was
last
actually a
episode of
sad
Fresh
one.
Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah.
And
Okay.
the part where he why his dad doesn't love him.
Spoilers.
I don't remember.
Oh, he
that.
he still doesn't know why his dad doesn't love him.
Oh,
that's
okay.
I'm gonna start wrapping this up here.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
please
yeah.
wrap us up.
Wrangle it
We're
in.
way off.
Where were we?
Wrapping it up.
Futurama.
Oh yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, okay. Futurama, maybe that'll happen.
That'd be
Who
cool.
knows?
Hopefully.
We'll see. I like Futurama.
I
Good
like
show.
it a lot.
Okay.
It's very smart.
I
We're
see.
gonna close up the
Wiener.
show. Thank you for everybody for listening. But before we go, we do stuff on YouTube and stream on Twitch.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Plug those people who plug those.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, tune in on Twitch for Cameraman John stream, twitch.tv/Cameraman John, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 6:30 Pacific time for some fun gaming action with some of the boys here and some gals.
Jesus, you had a week off and you actually nailed your.
I
Your
know.
face
Did
is a
you
week
practice in front of a mirror?
I guess he
Maybe.
did. And then also you're already on our YouTube. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, I mean, you
Oh,
could
wow,
be listening
allegedly.
to it
Maybe
on
not.
other
They might be on
podcasting directory.
Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, you could be on
Might be on
Spotify. If you're on
Podbean.
Spotify, then I mean, head over to the
Shout
YouTube
out.
channel.
To my
You-
iTunes folk.
Yeah.
Aw,
you know,
yeah.
wherever we love you, no matter where you're from. Okay. But yeah, check out the YouTube. If you are on the YouTube listening to this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do post as of right now for the holidays. We'll be posting 3 times a week. It will be
What?
Tuesdays
Wow.
or Thursdays. Will be a video of some sort of us playing some sorts of games.
Wow.
Wednesdays is the podcast as you are listening to right now.
Wow,
Which, like we
amazing.
said before, if you are on YouTube, we have it on every other podcasting directory. And then Sundays is our Call of Duty dubs. That way you get your Call of Duty
Classic.
fix. And we actually do have more dubs for anyone that's been following us all this time. We got a
Allegedly.
couple in a row, so we got that.
We
fresh
might change
content
it up.
coming.
We'll
Click.
see. We'll see.
We might
It might not
throw
always
some
be
losses in there.
guaranteed now.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh, you ruined the surprise. Yeah.
Oh well. That's a
Well,
horrible
give it a
surprise.
like if you made it this far and comment. What do you mean, Garrick?
Okay, Joey.
Okay. That's going to do it for us here on the Phat Peeps podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will catch you next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Timmy. Wait.
Hello.
Hold on.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Play that song, Timmy.